Hey RT family, Ryan Reynolds here with Keller Williams Consultants Realty, coming to you with your February 2022 market update. So the first thing I want to do is talk about what we're going to talk about, and that'll be three things. The first of those being, what are the current market conditions in the Central Ohio area in February 2022. The second thing will be, what can sellers expect to see over the next few months and into the rest of the year. And the third thing will be what buyers can expect to see from here on out in the next few months to 6 months, something like that. Current market condition is that we have a pretty large gap between the number of sellers and the number of buyers. There's a lot more buyers in the market, even though we typically see less things happening this time of year, just from a seasonal standpoint because of the snow and the difficulty in getting around. We're still seeing homes typically flying off the market. Now, whenever we had a big snowstorm like we did last week, that does slow things down a little bit more even, but then they will pick up pretty quickly here as things have gotten cleared out. In terms of number of offers, we're still seeing multiple offers for homes that are on the market. We're seeing lots of showings for those homes, and we're seeing sellers getting above list price. They're getting more offers with no inspections and no remedies, and generally buyers making concessions just to get their offer accepted. And so last year's craziness has pretty much continued. So what does that mean for our sellers? Well, our sellers over the next few months are likely going to see a pretty good continued market. The craziness from last year is going to probably continue at least until there's something that changes that. Now, what we're seeing specifically is very few homes on the market. And in fact, this time between about now, which is the mid-February timeframe, and about mid-March is what I call the gap. Now, the gap is where we have sellers not yet putting their homes on the market, but we have buyers coming into the market looking for homes to buy, and so it produces an unbalanced, even in a normal year, an unbalanced buyer-seller ratio, but now it's producing kind of that super ratio of way more buyers than there are sellers. So sellers can expect to get above average listing prices, above listing price offers. You're gonna get waivers on appraisals from banks and people willing to pay the difference in case an appraisal comes in low. You're going to see cash offers like we've never seen before, and we're also seeing concessions on inspections and on remedies. So really good time for being on the market. If you're a seller with a house that is maybe not in the greatest condition, it's a really good time to sell because there's not that much competition. So now let's talk about buyers. So if you're a buyer in the market right now, I'm going to be honest, it's pretty tough. You have to have an agent that knows what they're doing, because the only offers that are getting accepted are generally the best offers. And it doesn't just mean price, it means those other concessions around potentially waiving appraisal or potentially waiving inspections or remedies, or providing some other incentive to the seller to choose your offer, because they have lots to choose from. And you're probably not going to get all the things you necessarily want. However, if you have the right agent who knows what they're doing, you probably can get to be the one that's chosen. Now, one other thing I think from a buyer consideration is that in the next 6 months to a year, we're expecting interest rates to rise pretty significantly. The Federal Reserve said they're going to raise rates around 5 times over the next year. And so that would likely point to a 1%, maybe 1.25% increase over where rates are right now. And that can translate to a lot of money, especially over the life of a loan. I did another video, and in that video, we talked about a $300,000 or $350,000 house, and the difference between putting $270,000 down and $280,000 down. So just a $10,000 difference, and noting that if you wait 6 months and rates rose 0.5%, not only do you lose the amount of money you would have saved by putting the extra $10,000 down, you actually lose an additional $10,000 or $11,000 really dollars more. So it's usually better to buy while interest rates are low, because they have such a huge effect on what you actually pay for the house. Now, if you're paying cash, of course, that doesn't necessarily apply, but we do expect to see the actual price of homes go up this year again. With some of the announcements we've seen from Intel and I think it's called Hyperion, the company that's making the hydrogen engines that's moving to Columbus. And I expect, honestly, to see a bunch more companies announce that they're going to move to our greater Columbus area. We're becoming a technical manufacturing sort of mecca at this point, where the companies are fleeing California because of their high costs and high taxes, and coming to areas like Columbus, where we have abundant natural resources, abundant labor, and we still have a skilled workforce. So I expect to see those prices continue to rise, not only in the short term, but in the long term as well. So that's kind of what I see happening over the next few months. I think the main points are, if you're thinking about selling your house, it's probably better to do it right now, even though prices will rise, because by the time you buy the next house, you likely be paying a higher amount for your mortgage on that house if you're getting a mortgage. For buyers, the key thing to take away is that, again, sooner is better, because the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost you, and it might just make you have to buy a different house and maybe not get what you really wanted. So if you're interested in having a free consultation for us to help customize a real estate solution for you, please feel free to reach out. One of our buyer specialists or myself will come out, we'll look at your house, we'll help you figure out what that would be worth, what things you might need to do to get that ready for market, and of course, we'll help you find the home of your dreams. Just remember, the Reynolds team, unlimited opportunities and exceptional experiences.